strategy. Them trying to blind the youth with pure anxiety, but we just sit beneath the green with canopy, exhaling truth to wash away the tragedy. No vanity can trap the soul that's flying free. We watch the system crumble from the apple tree, through every cloud of herb of Eden majesty. The world is burning, but we find our sanity. Yeah, I watch the paper burn, ashes on my notebook pages, locked inside the mental prison, staring at the cages. They want the anger, want the monster, want the cynic back, but I just sit and watch the smoke react, attack the track. My microdose of peace inside this macrocosm of deceit. I'm pacing on the concrete, feeling every single beat. They want the warfare, I'm just breathing out the heavy cloud, shuffling my thoughts until the silence gets too fucking loud. Rising above the static of the street light, chasing the ghosts into the silver moonlight. We blow the worries all away tonight. No, I'ma need it when the spirit's right. Floating high, watch the smoke rings fly, elevate the mind beneath the stormy sky. No more tears, let the past go by. We ride the future where the eagles fly. Just let it breathe. Oh no, let it breathe. My synapses are firing, wiring is getting tangled up, but every puff of wisdom fills a broken measuring cup. I used to weaponize the ink, stabbing with the syllable, but now the rhythm's medicinal, the feeling spiritual. I'm slowing down the fast lane, parking all my old demons, trading the screaming for the meaning of these changing seasons. Look at the circle spinning, perfect shapes of pure escape, rewriting history on this vintage magnetic tape. Babylon structural walls are made of illusion, son. They try to rule the world with copper and a loaded gun, but right here in the quiet space the victory is won. We don't need no ammunition under the setting sun. Just elevate your vibration, feel the healing stream. Life is deeper than a nightmare, brighter than a dream. Let the smoke clear the vision, let the nation see. The only chain that holds you back is your philosophy. Rising above the static of the street light, chasing the ghosts into the silver moonlight. We blow the worries all away tonight. No, I'ma need it when the spirit's right. Floating high, watch the smoke rings fly, elevate the mind beneath the stormy sky. No more tears, let the past go by. We ride the future where the eagles fly. Just let it breathe. Oh, let it breathe. Universal love is the only currency we need to say, yeah. And every word I speak is just another path I pave. Don't let them commercialize the truth inside your grave. We break the mold, refuse to hold the status of a slave. Smoke rises up to the heavens above. No more fists raised, we just offering love. Clear out the wicked thoughts, clear out the pain. Floating high, watch the smoke rings fly. Oh, elevate the mind beneath the stormy sky. No more tears, let the past go by. We write the future where the eagles fly. shot the messenger to silence the message of peace, hoping the spiritual vibration of the tribe would cease. 2 bullets in the chest couldn't stop the revelation. Jah protected the servant to heal the entire nation. The scars upon my flesh are just a testament of grace, showing that the devil cannot wipe away my face. A true teacher must bleed for the wisdom that he brings, so the broken-hearted children have a song to sing. Yeah, they put me on a pedestal, labeled me a savior, then crucified my character for my erratic behavior. I took 1,000,000 verbal bullets from the media syndicate, trying to defend the sanity that I could never vindicate. Bleeding on the public stage, ODing in the bathroom floor, a broken spiritual guide knocking on death's door. But the wounds are where the light finally entered the crack. I'm a scarred visionary, but I'm officially back. The blood on the pages is starting to dry. We look at our scars under the afternoon sky, no longer ashamed of the damage we sustained. Every single injury was beautifully ordained. Listen to the words of the wounded prophet tonight. He survived the darkness just to bring you the light. Though the body is scarred, the vision is bright, healing the generation from the internal blight. Yeah, the messenger survived the storm. My ribs are held together by the poetry I wrote, the metaphorical life vest, keeping the soul afloat. I used to think my suffering was a private penalty, but now I see it was an educational necessity to speak to the depressed kids sitting in the dark room, showing them that flowers can survive a nuclear boom. I'm a walking casualty who conquered this dependency, injecting these broken blocks with a therapeutic tendency. They can injure the flesh, but they can never touch the mind. The Holy Spirit is a fortress that they cannot find. So let the hypocrites celebrate the damage that they made. The internal fire of righteousness will never fade. We use our wounds as a map to navigate the lost, spreading unconditional love no matter what the cost. Stand up, wounded prophet, put the record back on. The darkest hours, just a memory before the dawn. The blood on the pages is starting to dry. We look at our scars under the afternoon sky, no longer ashamed of the damage we sustained. Every single injury was beautifully ordained. Listen to the words of the wounded prophet tonight. He survived the darkness just to bring you the light. Though the body is scarred, the vision is bright, healing the generation from the internal blight. Trophies of the wars we won, walk in the protection of the Almighty Son. No weapon formed against the spirit can prosper. Deliver the truth that the system can't foster. I'm still bleeding, but I'm still standing. That is the destiny Jah was commanded. Wounded but whole, divine control. Listen to the words of the wounded prophet tonight. He survived the darkness just to bring you the light. Though the body is scarred, the vision is bright, healing the generation storm is spinning violently outside the window pane. The hurricane of Babylon is generating pain. They shift the market prices and they propagate the fear, trying to make the population lose what they hold dear. But in the center of this cyclone, I just take a seat, feeling the tranquil frequency beneath my steady feet. You cannot control the turbulence of an earthly nation, but you can maintain your internal divine vibration. Yeah, yeah. Controversy swirling round my name like a tornado. Media throwing daggers, trying to puncture my bravado. Paparazzi flashbulbs blinding my peripheral view. Lawsuits piling up a heavy psychological stool. But inside the eye of the storm, I'm sitting motionless, decompressing the stress, navigating the hopelessness. I don't react to the friction or the malicious noise, trading the old hostility for a magnificent poise. When the world around us is losing its fragile mind, we search for the serenity that the Creator designed. A sanctuary of stillness in the frantic ecosystem, unplugging our consciousness from their corrupted system. We creating calm chaos in the middle of the street, maintaining our tranquility when the disasters meet. No longer letting the turbulence dictate our heartbeat, finding our paradise where the waves of madness beat. Yeah, stay centered tonight. My synapses used to match the anarchy of the crowd, a hyperactive mind where the static was too loud. An internal riot fueled by dependency and rage, stalking back and forth like a tiger in a cage. But maturity is finding a cool, refreshing stream in the middle of a burning, devastating dream. I let the record spin around me without no impact, keeping my sanity and my artistic integrity intact. They want you frantic, scattered and easily displaced, so you can never analyze the deception you have faced. But a quiet mind is a fortress that they cannot breach, a spiritual height that their malice can never reach. So let their structures wobble and their empires shake. We enjoy the peace that the politicians cannot fake. Jah is the anchor holding us steady in the tide, providing an everlasting comfort on the inside. When the world around us is losing its fragile mind, we search for the serenity that the Creator designed. A sanctuary of stillness in the frantic ecosystem, unplugging our consciousness from their corrupted system. We creating calm chaos in the middle of the street, maintaining our tranquility when the disasters meet. No longer letting the turbulence dictate our heartbeat, finding our paradise where the waves of madness beat. Yeah, stay centered tonight. I'm slowing down the tape. That is the ultimate method of a beautiful escape. Let the anarchy unfold, we already built the landscape. In the arms of Jah, Lord, we find our perfect shape. Take a deep breath, let the storm rage on. It will all pass away before the early dawn. Quiet, composure, Jah phenomenon. We creating calm chaos in the middle of the street, maintaining our tranquility when the disasters meet. No longer letting the turbulence dictate our heartbeat, finding our paradise where the waves pirates still rob the music of the beautiful soil, exploiting the labor of the children who sweat and toil. But poetry is a weapon that they never can control. It is the natural manifestation of a timeless soul. We chant redemption songs to heal the fractured tribe, infusing the atmosphere with a holy righteous vibe. No commercial contract can purchase the spirit's breath. We sing of everlasting life conquering death. Yeah, I sold millions of records but almost lost my sanity, trading my private security for a public vanity. They put my lyrics in the textbook, analyzed the rhyme, but I was just a desperate man running out of time, using vocabulary as an emergency exit door, bleeding on the microphone, carpet covered in gore. But these are redemption lines written with a steady hand, using my platform to help the weary people stand. Tearing down the billboards of the capitalist lie, we look at the stars up in the infinite sky. The ink is our medicine, the rhythm is our cure, keeping the message authentic, honest and pure. These are our redemption rhymes, singing for the oppressed, soothing the heavy heart, beating inside the chest. We survive the dark times, passing every test, finding our sanctuary in the land of the blessed. Let the music set you free. I used to write with a razor blade, cutting the track open, leaving the listeners paralyzed, devastated and broken. But the architecture of my verses undergone a shift, recognizing that this vocabulary is a sacred gift. Not to destroy, but to rebuild a broken foundation, offering a therapeutic blueprint for a lost nation. From the depths of dependency to the peak of clarity, replacing old animosity with the universal charity. The words of the righteous man are like an orchard of fruit, feeding the hungry generation, strengthening the root. Don't let them commercialize the struggle of the poor. Open up your mouth and let the voice of justice roar. A beautiful melody can break an empire's wicked spell, lifting the heavy spirits out of a systemic hell. So tune your instrument to the frequency of creation and broadcast the truth to every single destination. Tearing down the billboards of the capitalist lie, we look at the stars up in the infinite sky. The ink is our medicine, the rhythm is our cure, keeping the message authentic, honest and pure. These are our redemption rhymes, singing for the oppressed, soothing the heavy heart, beating inside the chest. Oh, we survive the dark times, passing every test, finding our sanctuary in the land of the blessed. Let the music set you free. The pen is mightier than the sword ever was. We do it for the people, not for the applause. Correcting my mistakes, supporting our greater cause, breaking away from Babylon's unnatural laws. Oh, no more weaponized lyrics, just healing. Feel the vibration, a beautiful feeling. Conscious poetry for the universe. Oh, for the universe. Whoa, whoa. These are our redemption rhymes, singing for the oppressed, singing, soothing the heavy heart, beating inside the chest. We survive the dark times. sound of gold and vanity. Politicians talking loud, destroying our humanity. But Jah is whispering inside the quiet valley breeze, teaching the children how to humble down upon their knees. Real power doesn't need to shout or make a fuss. It's written in the ancient dust inside the heart of us. So close your mouth and open up your inner eye, and watch the hypocrites collapse under the heavy sky. Shh, keep it down, let the static settle in the room. I spent a lifetime screaming loud inside a sonic boom, selling my anger to a stadium of frantic fans, but never noticed that the quicksand was in my hands. Now I'm looking for the answers that the noise suppressed, unzipping pockets of the secrets hidden in my chest. The loudest person in the room is usually the weakest link. I put the microphone away so I can finally think. When the storm stops roaring in the night, and the false prophets vanish out of sight, we will find what is wrong and what is right. In the shadows we uncover the light. Oh, the silent truth will always prevail. When words fail and the ship sail, no more lies left behind the veil. Listen close to the unspoken tale. Let the quiet speak to you. Yeah, internal monologue is deafening, it's parallel to living trapped inside a self-inflicted diving bell. They want a soundbite, want a controversy, want a feud, but I'm absorbing all the peace inside this solitude. No social media can validate the soul within. I'm scrubbing off the old ink underneath my skin. The truth is quiet, it don't need a viral headline trend. Just a broken man who's trying hard to make amends. Do not depend on what the television try to teach. Their golden words are nothing but the predatory speech. They feed on chaos, feed on hatred, feed on your despair. But righteousness is flowing freely in the evening air. So let the music soothe the damage that the system made. A spiritual vibration that will never fade. Stand firm in silence, that's where the Creator speaks, providing wisdom that the greedy politicians seek. When the storm stops roaring in the night, and the false prophets vanish out of sight, we will find what is wrong and what is right. In the shadows we uncover the light. Oh, the silent truth will always prevail. When the words fail and the ship sail, no more lies left behind the veil. Listen close to the unspoken tale. Let the quiet speak to you. Unsaid words that carry all the weight. Selah, open up the everlasting gate.
No more arguments, no room for any hate.
Just accept the destiny and love your fate. Can you hear it?
When the world goes black,
That is Jah voice
calling you back.
No more distortions.
Pure redemption.
Oh, the silent truth will always prevail. When the words fail
And the ship sail.
no more lies left behind the veil. Listen close to the unspoken not expect a sweet apple from a poisonous tree. You must examine the soil if you truly want to be free. Our ancestors suffered under the whip in the plantation, leaving a legacy of trauma inside the foundation of the nation. The bitterness runs deep inside the historical well, creating an artificial earthly version of hell. But instead of nursing the hatred of the days gone by, we must cultivate the love that grows under the open sky. Genetic predisposition to a chemical dependency, inheriting the dysfunction, escalating the tendency. My family tree was rotten from the roots to the twigs, growing up in trailer parks surrounded by pigs, carrying the generational baggage inside my DNA, trying to wash the bitter taste of my childhood away. But if I don't treat the soil, the fruit will stay sour. I'm digging up the backyard, reclaiming my inner power, looking at the family history written in the mud, cleaning out the toxic venom flowing in the blood. It takes a strong shovel to excavate the past, to build a new foundation that is actually gonna last. We are pulling up the bitter roots today, washing the generational curses completely away. No longer allowing the old trauma to dictate what we say, finding a peaceful path through the dark and the gray. Yeah, we healing the ancestral ground. I look at my daughters, refuse to pass them the goblet of venom, breaking the cycle of anger that was stitched in my denim. No more projecting my childhood neglect on the innocent. The transformation of my psychological state is magnificent. I was a product of an environment fueled by hostility, but maturity taught me the beauty of extreme humility. We dig up the bitterness, throw it straight into the furnace, transforming the pain into a passion it serves. The sister system thrives when the children are fighting their brothers, blaming the errors of the past on the skin of each other. But the true enemy is the ignorance hiding within, allowing the bitterness to consume the soul beneath the skin. Let Jah water your garden with the stream of pure affection, redirecting your energy into a righteous direction. The soil may be scarred by the history of oppression, but forgiveness is the ultimate spiritual weapon. Looking at the family history written in the mud, cleaning out the toxic venom flowing in the blood. It takes a strong shovel to excavate the past, to build a new foundation that is actually gonna last. We are pulling up the bitter roots today, washing the generational curses completely away. No longer allowing the old trauma to dictate what we say, finding a peaceful path through the dark and the gray. Yeah, we healing the ancestral ground. Yeah, it stops for me, the cycle is officially broken. Let the words of healing be beautifully spoken. No more toxic inheritance left as a token. The eyes of the sleeping giants are finally open. Dig it up, all the way from the mud. Cleanse the spirit, purify the blood. No more bitterness, only growth. We are pulling up the bitter roots today, washing the generational curses completely away. Jah earth is sweet. You don't need no fire or a violent barricade to dismantle the matrix that the wicked system made. A revolution can be soft as a velvet sheet, flowing like a quiet stream down the city street. We weaponize the harmony, we dance against the gun, conquering the darkness with the light of the sun. No physical retaliation can never compare to the power of a population engaged in prayer. Yeah. I spent a lifetime fighting with the closed fist, an angry radical at the top of the blacklist, screaming at the government, attacking the regime with the hyper-violent, chaotic lyrical theme. But anger is an exhausting fuel to burn inside your engine, leaving you broken in a cycle of avenging mansion. So I'm changing the tactics of my insurrectionary art, launching a velvet rebellion from the center of my heart. No stones to throw, no windows left to smash. We watch their monetary system turn to total ash. Our weapon is the poetry, our armor is the peace, forcing the hostility of the world to finally cease. Welcome to the velvet rebellion tonight. We conquering the system without no physical fight, soft as a whisper but full of spiritual might, guiding the generation back into the light. Yeah, the revolution is beautiful. They prepared for a riot, they bought the riot gear, hoping to exploit our anger and systemic fear. They wanted us to bleed on the evening news channel, but we showed up organized, wrapped in soft flannel, offering an alternative to the violent narrative, showing that compassion is the ultimate imperative. We undermine their structure with the gentle diplomacy, dismantling the fortress of their greedy hypocrisy. The system thrives when the children choose to hate, creating the friction that keeps them inside the gate. But when you answer the malice with the pure affection, you completely short-circuit their political direction. Let the music penetrate the iron walls of greed, planting a soft velvet flower where they sow the weed. The kingdom of the Almighty is established by love, descending like a gentle white peaceful holy dove. No stones to throw, no windows left to smash. We watch the monetary system turn to total ash. Our weapon is the poetry, our armor is the peace, forcing the hostility of the world to finally cease. Welcome to the velvet rebellion tonight. We conquering the system without no physical fight, soft as a whisper but full of spiritual might, guiding the generation back into the light. Yeah, the revolution is beautiful. Dismantle them with grace, leave a beautiful mark upon the human race. No more bloody battlefields, we changing up the pace. Find a sanctuary in the Creator's embrace. Drop the bricks, open up your hands. Love is the only force the universe understands. Soft rebellion, Jah commands. Yeah. Welcome to the velvet rebellion tonight. We conquering the system without no physical fight, soft as a whisper but full of spiritual might, guiding the generation back into the light. Yeah, the revolution is beautiful. The revolution is beautiful. aggression, armed with nothing but the spiritual possession. Them come with tanks and automated ammunition, but they can never conquer a divine definition. We wear the armor of righteousness and dignity, fighting the invisible forces of malignity. A true warrior don't seek a bloody casualty. We battle for the mind to escape that harsh reality. Yeah, checking my vitals, I survived the fierce onslaught of every legal battle and every battle of thought. They drafted me into a war I didn't enlist in. Target on my back because my lyrics wouldn't glisten. For the corporate sponsors who control the radio waves, they want mindless robots, predictable slaves. But I strapped my boots tight, loaded up the ink pen, saluting the general, marching into the lion's den. No metal helmet can protect your fragile crown when the structures of the wicked come tumbling down. We stand on the front line, refusing to retreat, guarding the perimeter of every city street. I am a soul soldier, marching to the drum, fighting for the future and the days yet to come. No physical weapon can ever make us numb, from the darkest basement to the kingdom we become. Yeah, the spirit army is moving. Yeah, my combat boots are muddy from the trenches of fame, explosive landmines hidden underneath my name. I used to fire randomly at anyone who crossed me, reflecting on the casualties, realizing what they cost me. But now the strategy is tactical, focused on the healing, dismantling the fortress of the pain they were dealing. A mental revolution, guerrilla warfare of the mind, leaving all the petty animosity far behind. The highest rank you can achieve is inside your own heart. Victory begins the moment that you do your part, to love your neighbor and protect the helpless and weak, speaking out the truth that the politicians hide and sneak. They want you categorized, divided and afraid, so you can easily surrender to the trap they laid. But stand firm, so soldier, look the devil in the face. The Almighty created you to conquer this earthly space. No metal helmet can protect your fragile crown when the structures of the wicked come tumbling down. We stand on the front line, refusing to retreat, guarding the perimeter of every city street. I am a soul soldier, marching to the drum, fighting for the future and the days yet to come. No physical weapon can ever make us numb, from the darkest basement to the kingdom we become. Yeah, the spirit army is moving. Sheet music. If Jah give you a talent, don't you dare abuse it. We fighting for the consciousness, refuse to lose it. The pathway to salvation, beautifully choose it. Beautifully choose it. At ease, soldier, lower your guard. The battle was heavy, the journey was hard. Internal peace, our ultimate reward. I am a soul soldier, marching to the drum, fighting for the future and the days yet to come. No physical weapon can ever make us numb, from the darkest basement to the kingdom we become. Yeah, the spirit army is moving. Army is moving. The spirit army is moving. The ego struggles just to keep its illusions alive. We run away from the monsters that we hide within, blaming outside forces for the condition of our skin. Yeah. But you must invite the shadow to sit at the table, to understand the reasons why your spirit is unstable. Look at the darkness without no fear or dismay. That is the only method to wash the stains away. Yeah, I spent decades running from the monster Slim Shady, the manifestation of the trauma that betrayed me. I locked him in the basement, pretended he was gone, but he would creep into my lyrics at the break of dawn. You can't suppress the ugly parts, they'd only grow stronger, feeding on the secrecy, surviving even longer. So I shine a flashlight into my own abyss, shaking hands with my demons, concluding the hit list, integrating the pieces that we threw away, finding the balance in the middle of the gray. No more masquerades under the bright spotlight. We embrace the dark to make the inner vision right. We doing shadow healing in the middle of the night, transforming the darkness into a beautiful light. No more running from the ghost side to side, reconciling with the soul and in the internal fight. Yeah, the integration is complete. Yeah, my psychological anatomy was fractured and split, a puzzle with missing pieces, none of them would fit. I used to project my insecurity on the canvas, leaving a trail of destruction from Detroit to Kansas. But maturity is acknowledging your own capacity for malice and containing it with total audacity. I embrace the scars, the flaws, the absolute mistakes. That's what it actually takes to lower the high stakes. Jah created both the evening and the beautiful day. The shadow is just the proof that light is on its way. Do not judge yourself for the paths you used to true. Every human being is a reflection of God. The system teaches you to hate your internal mirror, so you can never see your divine purpose any clearer. Sit in the stillness, let the healing water flow, accepting every dimension of the self so you can grow. Integrating the pieces that we threw away, finding the balance in the middle of the gray. No more masquerades under the bright spotlight. We embrace the dark to make the inner vision right. We doing shadow healing in the middle of the night, transforming the darkness into a beautiful light. No more running from the ghost side to side, reconciling with the soul and in the internal fight. Yeah, the integration is complete. I accept my chaotic mind. That is the greatest wisdom you will ever find. No longer leaving the broken fragments behind. Let the universal love beautifully bind. Hello darkness, my old friend. Together we will make the broken spirit mend. Total acceptance, no need to pretend. Heal the shadowy liberation is complete. All again, no more pieces. across the ocean wave. It's inside the human heart where the illusions behave. The flesh want the luxury, the spirit seek the truth, creating a friction that destroys the wandering youth. You battle with the greed, you battle with the pride, trying to find a shelter where the ego cannot hide. But you cannot defeat the enemy with an outside sword. You must surrender your weapons to the Almighty Lord. Yeah, civil war inside my skull, a daily insurgency. My subconscious mind is screaming with an extreme urgency. A faction of my ego wants to burn the whole house down, while my conscious mind is trying to protect the fragile crown. I'm my own antagonist, my own worst adversary, planting landmines inside my own vocabulary. No external hater could ever match the hostility of the monster in my mirror, mocking my stability. Dismantling the minefields inside the cerebral space, looking for a treaty to conclude the long chase. We sign a ceasefire with our own complexity, trading the chaos for a spiritual necessity. Yeah. And in the inner war, dropping the heavy shield, finding a peaceful sanctuary in the mental field. No more fighting ourselves on the battlefield. Let the psychological lacerations finally heal. Yeah, we calling a truce tonight. I spent decades court-martialed in my own mind, a prisoner of war, took the trauma left behind, sentencing myself to a lifetime of solitary confinement, refusing to accept the spiritual alignment. But the rebellion is over, the troops are heading home. I'm decommissioning the missiles inside this heavy dome. I forgive the soldier that I was forced to become, reclaiming the tranquility that makes the mind numb. When you conquer the self, you win the ultimate prize. You see through the deception of the Babylonian lies. They want your mind divided in a constant civil strife, so you can never experience the beauty of life. But Jah provide a harmony to settle down the storm, transforming the cold heart into something pure and warm. Put down your internal rifle, let the conflict cease. The ultimate victory is achieving a total peace. Dismantling the minefield inside the cerebral space, looking for a treaty to conclude the long chase. We sign a ceasefire with our own complexity, trading the chaos for a spiritual necessity. Yeah. And in the inner war, dropping the heavy shield, finding a peaceful sanctuary in the mental field. No more fighting ourselves on the battlefield. Let the psychological lacerations finally heal. Yeah, we calling a truce tonight. Now the divine purpose is becoming much clearer. No more friendly fire, no more internal terror, correcting the course of our historical error. The guns are silent, the smoke is clearing. That is the frequency your soul is nearing. Peace treaty, just steering. And in the inner war, dropping the heavy shield, finding a peaceful sanctuary in the mental field. No more fighting ourselves on the battlefield. Let the psychological lacerations finally heal. Yeah, we calling a truce tonight. true through the valley with a fearless disposition, fulfilling the parameters of my spiritual mission. Them come with iron bars to lock up my physical frame, but they can never incarcerate the power of my name. A celestial predator walking through the wilderness, conquering the wickedness with absolute gentleness. The strength of Zion is surging through my spine, an indestructible force that is completely divine. Yeah, I survived the meat grinder of a brutal industry, dismantling the traps that they set for my ministry. They wanted me to whimper, wanted me to fold and bend, hoping my artistic longevity would finally end. But my resolve is forged in the fires of Detroit steel, an armor of vocabulary that is heavy and real. A apex predator sharpening his lyrical claws, refusing to abide by the systematic laws. Unbreakable foundation, a metallic state of mind, leaving all the weakness and the doubt far behind. We stand on the mountain, letting out a heavy roar, guarding the perimeter of the ancient wisdom door. I am an iron lion, standing in the Zion sun. The spiritual battle is officially won. No weapon can scratch us, no empire make us run. Resilient as metal until our earthly days are done. Yeah, the monarch is reigning tonight. They thought the dependency would leave me permanently crippled, but the impact of my recovery is globally rippled. I'm an iron beast, revitalized, structured and tough, showing the world that my vocabulary is more than enough to shatter the illusions of their superficial trends, making absolute amends with my genuine friends. I look the devil in the eye, refuse to compromise, a metallic warrior watching the new empire rise. Babylon tried to cage a lion inside a mental zoo, dictating the thoughts of what the population can do. But the iron lion breaks through the copper barricade, dismantling every single trap that the wicked made. We wear the heavy crown of the conquering tribe, infusing the atmosphere with a majestic vibe. Stand up, my people, look at the strength in your hand. We are the rightful rulers of this beautiful land. Unbreakable foundation, a metallic state of mind, leaving all the weakness and the doubt far behind. We stand on the mountain, letting out a heavy roar, guarding the perimeter of the ancient wisdom door. I am an iron lion, standing in the Zion sun. The spiritual battle is officially won. No weapon can scratch us, no empire make us run. Resilient as metal until our earthly days are done. Yeah, the monarch is reigning tonight. Melt down the golden calf, forge the iron shield. To the demands of Babylon, we will never yield. The roar echoes from the street to the open field. Let the supreme majesty be beautifully revealed. Unshakable, untamable, complete. The Lion of Judah never faced defeat. Pure iron, Zion Street. I am an iron lion, standing in the Zion sun. The spiritual battle is officially won. No weapon can scratch us, no empire make us run. Resilient as metal until our earthly days are done. Yet a monarch is reigning tonight. narrow alleyways where the forgotten dwell. We sing a holy melody to break the wicked spell. No pipe organ playing, no stained glass in the wall. Just the voices of the children answering the divine call. They tried to look down on the place where we are born, labeling the ghetto as a territory torn. But a natural mystic vibration flows through the street, providing a sanctuary for our wandering feet. Yeah, 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 this is our liturgy, written on a concrete slab. A beautiful song from the city that they try to brand and stab, where the choir is a group of kids sitting on the porch, using a burning cigarette as a spiritual torch. We don't need no gold chalice or a velvet altar cloth to offer up our testimony to the God of the moth. From the underbelly of Detroit to the trenches of Trench Town, we sing a sacred anthem to turn the paradigm around. The asphalt is our cathedral, the moonlight is our light. We broadcast our devotion into the heavy night. No commercial institution can purchase this holy sound. It belongs entirely to the people on the ground, singing our ghetto hymns beneath the smoky sky, wiping the heavy teardrops from the mother's eye. A beautiful symphony for the souls who just survive, keeping the spiritual fire completely alive. Yeah, hear the congregation tonight. This is a benediction for the single mother working late, trying to keep her children far away from the prison gate. A sacred composition for the kids who got no food, trying to maintain a positive, constructive attitude. My vocabulary is a prayer book for the broken, depressed, offering a therapeutic refuge for the highly stressed. We turn our limitations into a magnificent song, proving to the universe where we truly belong. Jah resides inside the dwellings of the humble and poor. He doesn't need no palace with the golden front door. The system build their monuments to celebrate their greed, but they forget the simple things that human spirits need. So let the ghetto hymns multiply across the block, standing on the foundation of the everlasting rock. The music is a shield from the arrows of despair, lifting your vibrations far above the atmosphere. The asphalt is our cathedral, the moonlight is our light. We broadcast our devotion into the heavy night. No commercial institution can purchase this holy sound. It belongs entirely to the people on the ground, singing our ghetto hymns beneath the smoky sky, wiping the heavy teardrops from the mother's eye. A beautiful symphony for the souls who just survive, keeping the spiritual fire completely alive. Yeah, hear the congregation tonight. Our music is the church, the microphone is the priest, feeding the hungry minds a beautiful spiritual feast. From the greatest of the cities to the absolute least, escaping the clutches of the Babylonian beast. Can you hear the choir? Sing it loudly, lift it higher. Ghetto symphony, divine desire, singing our ghetto hymns beneath the smoky sky, wiping the heavy teardrops from the mother's eye. A beautiful symphony for the souls who just survive, keeping the spiritual fire completely alive. Yeah, hear the congregation tonight.